Hi guys, let's do a check-in now on the New Orleans Pelicans, answering questions that you guys sent through. Kenny says, is there a chance AD gets shut down? I'm worried about not having him during fantasy playoffs. Kenny, shutdowns are bullshit. They don't happen. If he gets injured, yes, he won't play. Simple as that. They are not just going to go to Anthony Davis and say, Tone, you're not playing. Like, it's just not going to happen. And if it does, it'll be for the last 2 games of the season. You can come back to me and circle back on this when I'm wrong. I just don't see it happening. Shutdowns is the most pervasive thought in all of fantasy basketball that has the least basis in fact, I reckon. It just doesn't happen. Like, guys just don't get, you're just not, you're not playing the last 6 weeks. See ya, don't play. Happened to Eric Bledsoe, happened to Tyson Chandler, and everyone was pissed. And that did happen. It just doesn't happen to these guys. If a guy gets hurt and they actually need to recuperate and have surgery, then yes, they don't play, but that's the same as what happens at any point during the season. The next question is from Matus Barbiaz, and I apologize for mispronouncing that. Who has the better fantasy outlook for the rest of the season? That's a good question, because I should have finished the question. Let's try that again. Who has the better fantasy outlook for the rest of the season? Julius Randle or Nikola Mirotic? And at the moment, Randle's the guy getting the minutes and putting up the numbers, but I actually think it's going to be Mirotic. I think that the team functions much better with Mirotic in a starting role over Randle. Randle's better coming in, playing 27 minutes, bludgeoning backup centers and putting up those big numbers, while Mirotic works perfectly alongside Anthony Davis, can take advantage of starting lineups with his spread ability. I think that both of these guys are top 100 players. I think Mirotic is a top 60, top 65 guy, and Randle's like a top 80 guy for the rest of the season. I don't see the current starting lineup sticking or the current minutes distribution as Mirotic returns from his ankle injury. I think it gets back to a 30 minutes for Mirotic, 28 minutes for Randle type scenario. On a per minute basis, Mirotic is a better fantasy player than what Randle is. He's better at defensive stats. He shoots more threes. He can score at a similar level. Slightly worse rebounder, but not that much. I think that Mirotic is the better player than Randle, even though, again, current production or current level of where they're at doesn't suggest that. So if you had that opportunity, and it probably wouldn't happen in many cases, but to trade Randle to get Mirotic, that'd be the move that I would go for. And that's how I do think that it plays out for this Pelicans team. But of course, that always depends on what Alvin Gentry decides to do. I think eventually the common senseness of having Mirotic next to Davis majority of the time sways him and makes that move happen relatively soon.